I've got almost 5 acres on the Sterling Highway. This is located in Clam Gulch, Alaska, on the Kenai Peninsula in the Kenai Borough here. My name is Miles McLaughlin at Wilco Land. I'm going to cover a lot of common questions in this video. I'm going to show you what we're looking at here. I've got some great photos to roll out with this property. I'm going to talk about what's on the property. I'm going to talk about the driveway to go access it. I'll share the location with you. We'll pull it up on satellite imagery. Again, we're going to really dive deep into this property so you can understand what we're selling basically from the comfort of your home. So sit back and relax. I'm going to roll through a few photos. I'm going to start with a quick disclaimer. This isn't legal advice. This isn't real estate advice. I'm simply sharing my thoughts and opinions on this property with you here today. You as a buyer are ultimately responsible for your own due diligence. So I've got 10 plus years experience in the industry. I've seen a lot of these properties, and there's so much you can learn from the comfort of your computer just by getting photos of the property and analyzing it from satellite imagery. So right here on the highway, we'll have Google Street Views too. I'll drop you down on Google Street Views and we can look at what it looks like on the highway. I'll give you a bird's eye view from a map, but let me pause in this photo for a moment. This is the driveway to go access the property. The previous owner had used the property, right? He lives in the mainland, lives in the lower 48, I should say, and he wants nothing to do with it anymore, needs the cash, and sold it to us, right? We're kind of the easy button to sell it to. We're in the business of buying and selling land deals. He left it as is. He sold it to us as is. We're going to sell it to the next guy as is. There's little tiny homes out here, little hunting cabins, things like that on the property. And I'll pull it up on satellite imagery too, but it's pretty ready to use right now. There could be some value in what's been left on the property. I personally haven't been there. We'll look at more photos and look at that here in a minute. But first, let me give you a quick bird's eye view of where this property is located. So we've got Anchor Point down here. You've got Homer, Alaska, down in the southern end of the peninsula there. You got Clam Gulch up here. And then here's Sterling. So this is Highway 1. This is a really, really beautiful highway. Anchorage is up here to the north. Okay, and you can even drop down here. There's a Moose Inn right here. There's a recreational area across the road. So not only do you have access to 5 acres, but across the highway, you can access a recreational area in Clam Gulch here, get right on the ocean. How cool is that? I mean, that's awesome. When we talk about location, it's everything in a land investment. Just to put it in perspective, you can walk to this recreational area on the ocean in Clam Gulch here. Right? The property is located right here. I'll pull it back up on coordinates. That's really cool, right? Just across the highway is a recreational area. And then just down the highway is an inn. So clearly people come out here and stay. People come out here, why? Hunting, fishing, recreation. It's Alaska. I mean, if you're looking at this property, you know why you want to go out to Alaska. It's, the last of the untouched. And it's really cool. We do a lot of land deals out here in Alaska, and it's one of my favorite places to work. People really love the properties they buy from us. So this is the highway. You can drop here anywhere on Street Views and take a peek at what it looks like out here. You're on a major highway here. This is like I said, a popular highway for folks traveling throughout Alaska. It's kind of famous out there. So yeah, you can drop anywhere you want on Street Views here, and take a peek at the area. It's pretty cool. Take a peek, take a gander. Like I said, there's a ton you can learn from the comfort of your home. Let's get back to looking at some of these photos. You can see some more imagery here. I have no clue what's out here. I mean, this could all be rubbish. There could be some value in some of that scrap. You might have interest in it. I have no clue. I can't sit here and tell you what's out there, but the driveway's been put in. That's a positive. There's basically a site for a camper, a little bit of TLC over a weekend, and you've got a cleaned up property and somebody who's cleared out space and put the driveway in. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know what's out here. People could have been vandalized this at some point. I just have no clue. You'll have to go out there and look for yourself, or just expect a little bit of cleanup. Can't be that bad. I've sold a lot of properties like this, and we price it with that in mind. We understand there's a little bit of cleanup, but man, it's not going to be too big of an issue to clean that property up. A couple weekends and you've got a fresh start. So again, photos do a really good job of showing you what you're buying. He's got, some sort of little makeshift gate here. The previous owner does. Here's a good ground level photo. Like I said, I just have no clue what any of this stuff is. Kind of a smorgasbord of things. So a little bit further out here, that's pretty sweet. So like I said, a lot you can learn from, satellite imagery and things like that too. Let's take a look at it on satellite imagery. Speaking of it, here's Clam Gulch, some more information on it. That was all online. Clam Gulch Lodge. So if people are coming out here to stay, there could be value in making an Airbnb right here. When we talk about commercial use or, development, like maybe this is an Airbnb, maybe you put a few yurts out here, maybe some tiny sleeper cabins with wood burning stoves. Like get creative. It's Alaska. There's not going to be a lot of restrictions with what you can and cannot do on your land, clearly. Again, here's a driveway coming back there, comes off Hanson Avenue, comes back there. These lot lines might not be perfect. This is going to be kind of a wetland feature, some of the property, but again, you get back on the high ground back here in the trees on the property too. So that's going to be a good usable area back there. Again, there's a lot of lodging areas, it looks like, right? Midnight Soul Organic Shop and stuff like that. So, maybe it's commercial use, maybe it's for your own personal use, whatever it may be. This is a pretty cool location out here in Clam Gulch State Park area. So I love this land investment. I think it's a really, really nice piece of land. It checks a lot of boxes: access, trees, location, all that good stuff. And we've got it priced really competitively. Going through some of the property details, you can read more up on this property right here. It's located in the Kenai Peninsula Borough. Here's the parcel ID. It's rural, unrestricted. Like I said, you're not going to have a lot of restrictions to what you can and cannot do on the property. If you have specific questions, go through the zoning website or contact the county. If you want to learn more about it, there's a ton of stuff on what you can and cannot do, what would require permits and stuff like that. Okay. Low taxes if you're looking for just a long-term land investment. I think from an investment standpoint, being off the Sterling Highway is a really, really big positive in terms of location. Like I said, potential target audience, you want to park a camper out there. You want to do some tiny sleeper cabins, maybe build a nice cabin in a home out there on that property. Maybe it's some yurts. Maybe you're renting that stuff out on Airbnb. Maybe you're using it for personal use. Like I said, there's a lot of ways to use this property. It's in a great location. You've got a lot of usable space, and some of the legwork's already been done for you in paving out that driveway and that building pad, doing some clearing. There is some cleanup on the property. We're aware of that. We're selling the property as is. So whatever that comes with it in the sale. There is power in the area. That's not going to be an issue. For those who want, to install a well or septic, just go through the state, contact the local well company, contact the local septic company. Those guys can lead you in the right direction if you're looking to do that. Camping in RVs is allowed. So again, for those who want to view the property, it should be pretty easy to access. I like to use Onyx Maps. And so here is, Onyx Maps. It shows the property like this. All I'm doing is dropping these coordinates down here on Onyx Maps, shows the road. This is the easement, right? It's all platted out and mapped out like that. Here's our property. This triangle showing up like this. It shows as Ricky Sneed right now. That ownership hasn't transferred yet. You come right off Hanson Avenue. Here's a driveway coming off that. Like I said, Clam Gulch State Recreation Area. This is a pretty large parcel and pretty large area just across the road. You've got BLM land right across the road. So you can see there's a ton of public land all around this area. Why are people buying? Hunting, fishing, recreation, being out in Alaska. If you're looking at this listing, you know why you're buying in Alaska. So hopefully that helps you understand this property. If you have any questions, give us a call. I do have a lot of listings in Alaska right now. We just added them to the website. It's one of our favorite places to work. Take a peek here. You can sort by state on our website. Just go ahead and search by Alaska, and you can see, we've got 10 acres in Trapper Creek. That's really close to this property. This is a really nice piece of land. I've got another 4.8 acre on the Cook Inlet, and that's going to be off a 4-wheel drive road, a little bit gnarlier access, way more hidden, kind of a cool little off-grid spot. Here's the property we just talked about, and I've got 8-acre lots out here in Fairbanks, Alaska. There's 2 of them. Both these have road access, really nice properties if you're looking to be around Fairbanks. Then we've got a really nice 5-acre out here in Homer. This is really a feature property that we've got. It's got power run up to the property. It's got an RV site ready to use. The RV is actually sitting on the property still right there and power connected to it. And you've got some really world-class views looking from the property. So this is down in Homer if you're interested in something a little bit more expensive, if that's in where you want to be. So take a peek. We've got land all over the United States. We do offer more of a self-service model. We're here to help you out with all your questions, though. We do offer some seller financing. We're always open to cash offers as well. We're in the business of moving land fast. So just give us a call if you have questions. You can reach us here at 605-299-5553. Thanks for tuning in.